So I've been sitting on this video for a while. This is dark chocolate and salted caramel cookies. Let me know what you guys think and let me know what you guys want to see next. So I've gone ahead and melted 4 tablespoons of salted butter, and I'm going to take a half cup of light brown sugar and a half of a teaspoon of vanilla paste, and I'm going to just pour that right on top. And then I'm gonna come in, you guys forgive me for using a non-stick pan and a metal whisk, but I'm just gonna whisk this up for 1 minute, just to make sure everything is mixed and comes together. We're gonna do this. And then once we have this mixed together, we're going to turn up our temperature to like medium high, and we're gonna let this simmer, and we're gonna mix it occasionally until it reaches 295 degrees Fahrenheit. All right, now that we've reached 295 degrees, we're gonna take that off of the burner. I realized I had reached that point because it started to smoke because I stopped whisking it. So I would recommend just continually pretty much whisking it until it comes together. And then now we're gonna move over and pour this out onto a lined baking sheet. I've got my lined baking sheet right here, and I'm just gonna pour my toffee mixture out here. It's already starting to solidify a little bit. In there, let's get all of that out of there. Once we get our toffee mixture out on a baking sheet, I'm just gonna try to flatten it out a little bit, spread it out a little bit more. I don't want to use a spatula because I don't want any of the actual toffee to get stuck to it. And now we're just going to let that cool down. It's going to happen pretty quick. I can already, yeah, like this is already toffee. Is it good? Delicious. Now let's go move over to making our brown butter. I've now got my skillet over medium heat, and I'm taking 14 tablespoons of butter and just melting it. And to make brown butter, we're just gonna kind of bake those milk solids out, and it'll be nice and foamy, and we'll have a nice nutty smell to it. That's whenever you'll know that it's ready. So we're just gonna mix this up a little bit and let it melt and then bake off a little bit. I will stir it occasionally, but most of this is just gonna be pretty much just cooking it. You don't wanna burn it, but you just wanna cook it lightly. Now that our butter is melted, you can see it's already foamy. So we're just gonna keep heating this up until it starts to brown. You can see those milk solids there in the bottom of it. We're gonna just let it kind of simmer until it ends up browning. We have officially made it. Look how foamy that it looks. Stir it around with our Buc-ee's little spatula here. You can't really see it, but there's a lot of brown butter bits. So we're gonna take that off of the stove, and we're going to put that, oh goodness gracious, my camera quality. Oh yeah, this is what you get for filming on an iPhone. The tripod's moving. Yeah, we're just gonna let this cool down, and we're gonna set it aside. We want this to be at room temperature or a little colder, in all honesty, by the time we start baking. So I'm gonna take this off. I'm gonna actually get some work done around the house, and once this is cooled down, or toffee's cooled down, then we'll go ahead and start making the rest. We're now gonna take our brown butter mixture that we have in our mixing bowl. I'm gonna take right around 130 grams of light brown sugar, and I've got 2 teaspoons of vanilla paste in here. We're just gonna throw that in our bowl. And then I've got 1 whole egg and then 1 egg yolk. I'll throw this in here. I'm gonna throw this on the stand mixer. I'm gonna get it whisked up, and then we'll go ahead and get our dry ingredients mixed in. All right, I now have 260 grams of all-purpose flour. And then I have over here half a teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of baking powder, and 3/4 teaspoons of baking soda. Just gonna mix this right in. And once we have this mixed up, we're gonna move back over to our stand mixer, and we're gonna put the paddle attachment on there and make our rough dough. So let's go ahead and kick to that. We're now over at our stand mixer. I put the paddle attachment on here. I'm just gonna start it on low speed and then slowly start mixing my flour mixture and my salt, or my dry ingredients in. Now that we have our dough roughly mixed together, I'm taking 66 grams of our toffee mixture and 66 grams of dark chocolate, right around 62%. I think I'm actually using 68%. And we're just gonna fold this into our cookie dough. This is insane. This is insane. And then once we get this mixed in, I'm gonna cover it with plastic wrap and just throw it in the fridge for probably about 30 minutes. Let those flavors mature a little bit, let that butter cool down even more. And then whenever we're ready to bake, I'm gonna preheat the oven to 350 degrees and put these on a lined baking sheet. But we'll go ahead and cut to that now. Dough is chilled for about 30 minutes. I'm gonna take these, I'm gonna throw them in a 350 degree oven for 10 to 15 minutes. I've actually got a little bit of extra toffee pieces, so I'm gonna sprinkle them on top. As you can see, I may have already had one, but I put a little bit of the toffee on top to give it a nice crunch. And then now I'm gonna sprinkle a little bit of sea salt. Some flaky salt right on top. It'll be a great addition with that dark chocolate. Don't want to put too much because you don't want it to be too salty, but this will be delicious. It was phenomenal, the one that I've had. Go ahead and try this out. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you want to see next. I appreciate you guys watching and continuing to follow and support me. Hey, Bernoulli, what do you say? Say bye, everyone. Bob Bernoulli.